such a special time for us here on the Lightning Path, because this is the regeneration moment. A pause, a still point, a field of pure potential, an opportunity to attain coherence. A Latin word meaning to stick together. Each new moon is an opportunity to return to what Dane Rudhyar called, and the famous astrologer Rudhyar called the inner center, the symbolic temple in which the individual meets the whole. Within this sacred chamber, the distractions of personality are momentarily hushed, and the voice of the archetype may be heard. So the archetype on the lightning path that's coming in is what's being referred to there. We're entering a new archetypal realm. The moon as soul compass. Rudhyar taught that the moon is not simply Earth's companion in space, but a symbol of the personal soul, absorbing the radiance of the sun and reflecting purpose into human consciousness. When the moon meets the sun at new moon, the soul receives a subtle imprint of direction. It is a moment of subjective renewal, a whisper at the edge of awareness, your theme for the month that comes. Okay, well, as you said, the guiding tone, a harmonic entrance into cyclic time. From the Genesis moment of March 3rd, 1986, and that's when I had my initial revelation around the integration with the Tzolk'in, the lightning path began weaving each new moon into the 260-step matrix of the Tzolk'in. Each lunation cycle is paired with a glyph and a number, forming what we call the guiding tone, a sacred pairing that infuses the month with archetypal resonance. The glyph reveals a face of becoming, an invitation into a mythic quality of consciousness. The tone provides the momentum through the 13-fold sequence of creation, initiating, challenging, stabilizing, empowering, liberating. This is not astrology in the predictive sense. It is a symbolic alignment. To receive the guiding tone is to affirm the following: I am present. I am listening. I am willing to be moved by the sacred current of unfolding. Okay. Well, this is a painting that Teresa and I did during what we called our diamond period. We did 13 diamond paintings, co-creating, both working on the same canvas.
Wow.
And this was the final Ahau
Beautiful.
on that particular journey. It actually made it to some of the Jose Arguelles dream spell practitioners asked to use this image on their calendar. And they were intrigued by you see the number 2600 there. So they were making the connection over to the 260. And they were curious why we had included that. Well, that was Teresa's address on her little home in the Comox Valley. So
Wow.
that was a fun connection with those guys. All right.
That's a beautiful graphic, the lightning patch.
Yeah, that was for the Kawak lunation. So
Just gorgeous. Did you create that?
yeah, again, that's a co-creation with me and Teresa.
Just absolutely stunning.
So are the occasional sound of the kids next door, is it too loud? Should
No.
I close
We don't
it?
hear it,
Okay, good.
but it sounds like they're having fun on this new moon.
Okay, this is beautiful.
Looks like angel's trumpet.
Yes, and
Like
this,
a lily.
as we were painting this in Oaxaca, there was this huge confrontation between the authorities and all their guys here. You see them all lying around with their shields.
Oh yeah, the little guys.
And the people. And it was so present in our awareness for whatever reason that I said, we got to paint this. This just feels right to be capturing this moment. And that's what we came up with.
These are the little soldiers.
Mm.
And then these are the citizens.
Yeah. Which is the same interface, all over the planet, really.
Right.
So I think in our quest, for imagery, our process was that we start with a blank canvas and we just open up to receiving, to that canvas, something. And, whoops, we're going to cancel that.
Yeah, I've never thought of that before. That's like parallel to what we were doing, like co-writing a book where we actually wrote it together.
Exactly.
Every word, then you
Yeah,
could
right
paint
on.
together.
Yeah.
Well, that's another way of expressing community, right?
Exactly right. Yeah. Oops. Now this one, to me, this really pinpoints the whole orientation that we're into right this moment. I mean, if you just put your hands up in a mudra like that, we've got the new moon at the top, and then as your arm drops, we go to the first quarter, and then at the bottom we have the full moon, and then of course last quarter, and we're back around again. So it's got the whole meal deal right there.
Mm.
And so when we're opening up to the blank canvas and to receiving, a lot of times it comes through as just a simple energetic imprint, like two hands, like that.
Mm.
And then we start to bring more and more form to that initial impulse. And it's just an ecstatic process, really. I love it. Now, this is a very interesting connection between myself and Barbara Nins, who lives off the coast of Africa in the islands. I can't remember the name at this moment.
Canary Islands?
The Canary Islands, right. And Barbara has been with us many times on the Zoom calls, but we haven't seen her for a while. But as I was painting this image back in Bragg Creek, Alberta, out of Calgary, she was on the other side of the planet painting each hieroglyph on silk, a project that took her 10 years. Well, we happened to have a mutual friend who got us to meet each other on Cortez Island.
Wow. Yeah, that's where I did community on Cortez.
You mentioned that earlier. I'm very interested in that. So there we as some of you know, when we're working with the Tzolk'in this way, we each have a temple of birth. Well, my painting depicts two temples. On the left, Temple of Thunder, and on the right, Temple of the Empowered Human.
Mm.
Well, my birth temple is Temple of Thunder. Hers is Temple of the Empowered Human. Now, how's that for a synchronicity?
Oh yeah.
It spans the decade, I mean, it's just a remarkable reference point in my whole experience of the calendar.
So just for Tyhson, when he says temple, he's talking about the 13 cycle, like normally it's like 13 days or 13 months or 13 years, but here it's 13 lunation cycles. And so Jose Arguelles called it a wave spell, but it's just different terminology for the same thing, the temple.
Yeah.
And so this are like the steps are like the joints of the body, like ankle, knee, hip, up to the neck.
Right.
Neck joint would be the top of the temple. anyway,
The whole
that
notion
is
of resonance, that was what I wanted to depict there. And then the chakras, you've got here the chakras of the light body. And isn't this the kind of image that we're still dealing with? This was, I painted this during the first Gulf War. That's when they were doing surgical bombing with their armaments. I was over my canvas doing circular bomb or doing bombing of my painting, and it was just I had to go deep into this whole orientation to life, and I had to go get this disgust I had for the war out of my system, and it worked. Artistry for me has always been a very healing encounter, and when I was highly encouraged. Now, just a little add-on to that, out of the 20 paintings that Barbara did, an image in the bottom right-hand corner, this particular painting, she sent me the image of as a gift. And now this is updating to the current work we're doing with the Tzolk'in, and that is your solar kin number. Well, when we transpose my birthday into the Tzolk'in, my Tzolk'in, or my kin number, is this hieroglyph, or references this hieroglyph, star harmony, Lamat. I mean, of all 20 that she could have brought to me, this was the one.
Another incredible synchronicity.
Incredible. Just
oh my gosh.
I love it.
Hey, Dwayne, could you full screen the presentation if it goes a little bigger at all?
Yeah, I can drag and drop, but that's as much as I get right there. Is it?
Oh no, it's just smaller.
It's okay.
It's okay. I guess better not change anything while it is working, but it was a little bigger earlier, that's all. But yeah, I'm definitely gonna show show Tyhson a little deeper some of those photos she painted, because they are remarkable as they are all encapsulated there.
Right on. If you go to one of our previous, well, it wasn't a Zoom call. It was a Zoom call between me and her.
Yeah, it was the one with that cover.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah. So check it out. I mean, to think of her painting these over 10 years. I mean, what a commitment. And on silk. I've experienced them directly. So they are absolutely alive with energy. It's just scintillating, And what an accomplishment.
Yeah, the flower of life throughout the whole thing.
Yes, yes. And there's the one that she's 7 Lamat. And if you look closely, you see within the dolphin, the woman, the consciousness. It's all just wrapped up in that image.
Yeah, and I even see a spiritual dolphin above the dolphin too.
I get you. I got it. Right on. And the beak goes right into the heart.
And the star Lamat is like the 8th archetype. So it's got the energy of that octagons we were talking about earlier.
You're right. Resonance. Good one. This is her version of Ahau. I mean, isn't that just absolutely scintillating?
Mm-hmm.
My goodness.
What sort of paint does she use on silk?
Oh, I'm thinking it's inks, but
because you said it's so vibrant, right?
Yeah. I'm gonna have to ask her on that. I'm like I say, I'm thinking it was ink, but it could have been I kind of doubt that it was acrylic, but
I mean,
I'll be,
it could be like a fabric dye.
yeah, yeah, very skillfully deployed. Now, this is more recently. She's working imagery up using her computer and software. And like a true artist, she's just plunging ahead. the technology comes out and she grabs it and starts working with it.
But it's so her energy.
Yeah. And she's got into interpreting so many of the Mayan archetypes. Really beautiful work. Definitely her own style. Yeah.
Wow.
An old girlfriend, Deb Anthony from Calgary. And yeah, it's a pretty hefty little altar stone.
Beautiful.
Now this was with the 13 moon paintings that Teresa and I co-created, engendered also 13 songs that we created using GarageBand on the Mac. So we had the paintings, and we had the songs, and then we had we wrapped them up into a DVD package. And the DVD release party is what's coming up here next. But this was back on Cortez Island at Manson's Landing, May 12th, 7:30. Wasn't a huge crowd that joined us, but we pulled it off. This was the CD DVD package. So it had all 13 images, and then plus all 13 songs. And as I'm realizing now, it had all of the songs and the images were woven into presentations on their own. So you can view it, you can listen to it. It's a kind of a diverse package that we were delivering. So this was the core
I got it on
altar.
Spotify.
Nice.
I'm sorry, Quentin, I missed that.
Oh, I was just showing Tyson that I've got your album on Spotify.
Oh, I see. Oh, right on.
So I listened
gave it
to
out to the world.
Yeah. It's very synchronistic when I'm listening to it, and then all of a sudden it's like Six Ahau song comes along. I'm like, oh yeah, this is the song for the time we're in. Because I often
it's actually coming up soon. I'm going to drag you guys through it.
Oh yeah.
I mean, this was an incredible evening. We had people in costume, portraying the different archetypes.
Whoa.
And
that's your paintings on the wall?
That's paintings on the wall.
Wow.
Oh, it was rich, let me tell you. Very intimate, not a huge group, but just right, for what we were doing. And the kids loved it. Teresa's lighting candles. Oh, when Kawak came on, I was dressed for the occasion, but I hadn't anticipated dancing, but I was just ecstatic, and I went into this dance. And fortunately, my friend from Cortez, oh gosh, I'm forgetting his name right at the moment, but he was an excellent photographer. He documented the whole event, and this was me in midstream in my dance. It was totally an ecstatic eruption, and I'm glad he caught that for me.
Nice.
Okay, so here, give you a taste of one of the videos, and this is Ahau, this is Ahau the glyph that we're going into today.
So hilarious. The way it ends. Cut. Too long.
That's beautiful, Dwayne. Wow. All the detail.
Mm.
Just makes me know that I gotta watch those videos and see all the detail in all those paintings.
Mm. Right on.
Wow.
Are they still on? Still a Zoom call?
Yep. Want to say hi? Aw.
Hi, Teresa.
Hi, Teresa. Hello.
Teresa, come on.
Hello.
Hello, hello.
Come on, let's see you.
Hi.
Hi, crazy psychedelic music, eh?
Oh, yeah.
Pretty awesome.
Without psychedelics, even.
And
I have
love
to say, that was one of our hardest paintings. Definitely in my memory.
Yeah.
It took us days to get on the same page. Yeah. So it was a hard one. But
Yeah. The way that it's all sun behind and then that sliver of earth right through the top. Very interesting.
yeah, that didn't come out first. That was like the final iteration of the painting. In fact, the painting itself started out very different. And to tell you the truth, our sweet, agreeable Dwayne was the one that kept interfering and saying, "This isn't right." And so he literally took a tube of paint and covered it all over. And we were staying in a nice little cabin B&B in the Rockies with the intention of doing the painting for the new moon. And we literally stayed there for 3 days. And he did that twice. So, and I was just so hot on this image. And he really was resisting it. So when it finally came through, that split at the top with the earth showing, that was kind of like, okay, it's coming through, you know? And then the eyes on each side, they're very much like sun being, you know, the sun, and looking at us, that we're, you know, peeking through that crack in the top with the earth. So it's been a long time since we painted it, but whenever I see that painting, I always remember that process was so hard. Anyway, I don't know if Dwayne has told you, but we are embarking on a new joint project. I haven't worked on the lightning path for many years now, but I saw him struggling with trying to put together a consolidation of the lightning path within context of the kin numbers. And he was using ChatGPT to generate images, and the images just were coming out all the same. And I kept peeking over his shoulder and saying, "That's crap. You could do much better than this AI, because you're just feeding in very vague terms into the AI, and it's not treating each one as an intrinsic value." So I just said, okay, all right, 260 images, let's go. Start with one. And he was kind of overwhelmed by it, but when I showed up every morning, we've been doing it now for just over a week, and we managed to get somewhere between 8 to 10 keeper images that are really working. They're black and white, and he's shown you the one that we did together for 6 Ahau today.
That's what we just watched.
Right. No, you showed
No, not yet.
You showed
We
the
haven't
painting, Dwayne. You're not showing the black and white image of the Christ consciousness, are
Oh,
you?
no.
Okay. Okay, because the black and white images are this new process that we're using, and we are using AI, but the prompt is where the human imagination really comes in to play. So I think you're all going to enjoy it when it's done. 260
so.
images later. And the text that accompanies each image is going to be revised too, because my big complaint has always been a lot of these terms are too vague, and they don't specifically indicate the individual number glyph combo. So that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to make it more unique for each one, which is as it should be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And honor the Tzolk'in in that way, so that the synchronicities are ever more interesting too, with those daily alignments. Like, one thing that's totally fascinating is that this lunation with the temple of birth that you did these 13 paintings in, like, this hasn't come around since you painted it.
That's right.
So
Yeah.
that's
where
the
we
most
entered.
amazing thing.
Yeah, we started with one man, which is the first step on the temple, in the temple of birth. Yeah, so it is kind of cool to be going back around, and we were both very struck by, the coming around of that cycle. Oh, how we've changed. In 21 years, we all go through a lot, right? Lots of
Oh my
life
gosh.
experiences. So another thing I just wanted to add with these new images is that we are still honoring the Tzolk'in, but I've never really vibed with the Mayan symbology that much, believe it or not. But that's from the get-go. I sort of had to fess up to Dwayne that, Mayans just all feel like human sacrifice and shit like that. So it's taken me a while to actually say, okay, well, there are these really cool symbols that are coming out of the Tzolk'in, and I can apply them to my own symbology, because each and every one of us has our own symbology based on our life experience. So with these new images that we're generating, we're trying to take in many cultures, many different times, honoring sort of a more universal interpretation. But of course, the Mayans always step in once in a while.
Right. Yeah,
Thank
I
you.
learned from Ian Lungold. I don't know if you've ever heard of him,
Oh, yeah.
but he's a silversmith there, and he's passed on now. Actually, he spent his last years with us before he died or transitioned.
Oh, wow.
And he was doing the Mayan glyphs in silver, and all of a sudden they started talking to him. And that's how he got started, right? And then he had to go to the Mayan land. But then he started to play with the calendar and how he figured it out. And he went to see, I think, he went to the Mayan lands, and they said, oh, no, you got it all wrong.
Yeah.
Help straighten him up. So that's how he got involved, right? Is
Right.
literally the glyphs communicated with him.
And who is this? Who did you say
His
that
name
was?
was Ian Lungold.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think I'm always a little reticent to believe anyone that proposes to be a voice of their culture.
Yeah.
Some elders will say, I'm speaking for my culture, and it needs to be questioned always.
Yeah, he was given granted permission to do that. He was a great teacher, mostly around 2012, and speeding up the time and what all that meant. So yeah, and then I got a chance to meet John Kimmy, who was authorized by the Hopi to bring the Hopi teachings to the white people as well. That was another amazing opportunity to have that knowledge come forth, right?
You know?
Yeah. The Hopi, there's a lot of different Hopis. And and for someone to step up and say, I am speaking for the Hopi First Nation or whatever it is, it's a little, you know, I mean, we have to respect our elders, but it's a little bit presumptuous, I feel, because there's a lot of Hopis that have moved on from the old way of living, you know, without power, electricity, running water, all that stuff, living in the pueblos. I actually visited Old Arribe, which is the oldest continuously inhabited town in the U.S. And they're still, you know, living in these little tumble down adobes. They still have kivas in the main square. The whole place is layered, just literally layered with layers of pottery shards. And yet they have electricity coming in. They have a few people that are creating really nice pieces of art, you know, jewelry and stuff like that. But it's, yeah, I got kind of a wake up call when I actually went there, and I could see, okay, yeah, these are really ancient traditional Hopis that are insisting on living on this mesa, but there's still a lot of the places are empty, and the ones that are still there are there because they are a little bit more plugged in to the rest of the world. That was a while ago too when I visited there, a long time ago actually.
Oh.
So who knows how it's changed now, those three mesas of Hopi land. You know, I think the traditionals still hold ceremony there, but very few people actually are living that lifestyle anymore. And this is the way it is with most ancient cultures. And I think what Dwayne and I are trying to do with our new set of images here is to bring it in, not only honoring the memory of these old traditional cultures, I mean, even going back to Greek and Roman, you know, but also to bring it into how does this play out in our modern world. So we've got one image, for instance, of a couple of hikers, you know, just like modern hikers. Walking up with, they've got their hiking sticks and everything. They're from our time, but they're illustrating that particular glyph and number. So we agreed that we wanted it to be more universally applicable and still honoring the traditions.
Thank you.
Yeah, well, it's all about making it as widely shareable as possible, right?
Exactly, Quentin. I agree. Yeah. It's got to be accessible, otherwise people are just going to file it away as some old stories that don't apply to them anymore.
Yeah, and that's one thing I learned, because 2 days ago, like, the reason I came out here to the Shuswap was to give a teaching on the 13 moon calendar in Lumbee, and over the years of doing that kind of activity, I've learned how to make things more shareable,
Yeah.
which is keep out certain elements that go over people's heads and keep it simple and understandable.
No,
Cool. The last time I was in Lumbee, I was pregnant with my now 55-year-old daughter.
Wow.
That was a long time ago. Yeah, I remember that whole interior BC as being just basically a bunch of homesteading hippies.
Yeah, the earth energy is very strong in that area.
Well, yeah, it's wild earth. It's wild earth there, the mountains and the forests. And
you know the Camel's Hump?
in Lumbee?
Yeah.
No, I really didn't live there. I was just staying there for a little while, so that's just my memory of Lumbee.
Cool.
I love the name of it.
Yeah.
Lumbee. Sounds so cute. Cool. It's like an elephant lumbering along, you know. Anyway, I'm gonna go back to my projects, and thank you for opening up to my little feedback.
Yeah, it was nice to meet you.
Thank you so much. And I love the pictures of your garden.
Oh yeah, thank you.
yeah.
Yeah. That's a joint project. Gotta keep
Beautiful.
the food coming in, you know.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, bye-bye.
Bye, Terry.
I just want to, in this whole thing of the conflict that we had in this one particular painting, we developed a protocol, and the protocol is that we don't stop until we both love it.
Nice.
So we accept that it's going to be gnarly and it's going to be this and that. Well, it's okay. That's life. We'll just keep working with it until it works. And that's been right at the core of our process. And it's been very successful for us, to hold that in mind.
That's what it was like co-writing with 6 people, right?
There you go.
Everybody had to agree with the sentence, and it was quite something at times, right?
I'll bet.
But everybody had to sign off, right?
Right on.
It only took 5 years to write the book.
That's great. Well, there's more. And how did we do that?
The down arrow key.
The down arrow, but it's not working.
Oh.
Why is that?
But your cursor's back.
The cursor, we got the cursor. What can we do with the cursor?
I think in all of the 63 lightning path Zoom calls, is that the first time that Terry's made an appearance?
No, but it's the first time she's been so forthcoming with, her view.
Yeah. So that's special.
Well, and the other day, both of us, it came in like this big burst of energy and we both got it at the same time.
Right.
And I'll tell you, we get a lot of trains here in Spence's Bridge, and there's a horn with each one. We both remarked on that sound that was coming through from this particular train was unlike anything else we had ever heard. And it was delightful. It was melodic, I don't know, maybe the engineer was smoking grass or something. I don't know what, but it was a sheer delight. It added to the empowerment we were getting in the moment of.
Yeah, binaural beats in the engine or something.
Yeah, it was just incredible. So back to what we've got here. How to get past it. Hey.
Present moment.
Present moment. Present moment, perfect moment, as Thich Nhat Hanh used to say. So this is the new version, or the version I've been working on around having an image for each of the 260 hieroglyphs and having text to go with it to, work evoking the qualities of each temple. And so on that journey, we're currently now in 5 Kawak, moving into 6 Ahau. So the kind of image that you'll get in the Tzolk'in companion is this. And the one that Teresa and I are now committing to, I'll show you shortly. But this has been an interesting one for me in exploring AI and getting some robust tools placed in my hands, and me just jumping in and venturing forth. What can we do with this tool, And it's been amazing. It's quite the invention, and I'm happy to be a part of it. I'm not afraid of it, with a lot of people who are expressing fear around the technology, but I'm all for jumping in and experiencing it directly, as opposed to hearing about it and going into fear about it. So it's been quite an exciting creative journey. So 6 Ahau, this is the image from the book that corresponds to 6 Ahau. So we're entering this kind of archetypal domain. Now this image right off the bat was part of that whole empowerment that came when with the train going by and just the energetic field of our space here was charged. And I'll always remember this image coming through right on 6 Ahau, which is the final glyph in the series. Now, a couple of years ago, Teresa produced this book, which is really quite lovely. She did the scratch art herself, and the text is all hers, and it's snippets from her life, and it's kind of the elder passing on some of her wisdom, and that's the way I see it. And so she did, I think, like a dozen or more scratch arts of this quality.
Mm.
Well, she as an artist now can designate to the AI that this is her style and she wants to use this style to create new images. So this is one of her previous ones, another of her previous ones from the book. Corresponds beautifully with, we have a resident group of magpies up in our tree here. Boy, are they ever a racket. But it's been great just seeing them birth a whole new brood and all the shenanigans that go on.
Yeah, they're quite the character.
That's up our big tree here. While down on the earth, the ground level, we have a black cat in the area who has just birthed 7 perfectly black kittens.
Wow.
So we look out and see these kittens playing and jumping and climbing the trees and learning how to be a cat. And it's just been such an amazing spring. So now going to the new book that I'm working on, new format. It's going to, all of the images are going to be scratch art. So this is us telling AI, ChatGPT, that we want all the images created using Teresa's scratch art style, which is not just her style, of course, but it is one that she's using. So for this section of the calendar journey, this is the archetype coming through. We've got 6 individuals. We've got the Mayan Lord, the Mayan well, it's like the pinnacle of the whole calendar journey is to come to this place of cosmic consciousness. So that's what's being evoked here. So what the book will have the image and we're going to work up the texts as Teresa mentioned, so that it really matches the current era.
Mm-hmm.
And is universal. We're going for the universal human here, using a very traditional tool of the Tzolk'in. I don't know, this might be a little too much. Are you guys up for going through all this text?
I am. But
Yeah?
whatever is decided, I'll go with it.
Tyhson, are you?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah?
It's hard
Okay.
to see though.
Yeah, well, I'll see if I can read it out here. So the Tzolk'in and the Yellow Sub adventure team. That would be those of us that show up for the Zoom call and are bringing this cosmology to life. So as members of the Yellow Sub adventure team, each of us brings a unique solar kin into the shared journey. And Teresa mentioned that earlier, the solar kin. So we're really dealing with our capacity for vision and variety. Your solar kin is the Tzolk'in archetype associated with your birth. It is created by combining 1 of 13 tones and 1 of 20 glyphs. Together, they generate 1 of 260 archetypal expressions. Think of your solar kin as an archetypal companion that travels with you throughout life. It does not determine your destiny. Rather, it acts as a mirror, helping reveal such things as natural strengths, recurring challenges, lessons seeking expression, gifts waiting to mature. Within the lightning path, we often think of the solar kin as an archetypal compass. It does not tell you where you must go. Instead, it helps you recognize the deeper currents already moving within you. As you work with your solar kin over months and years, you may begin to notice that its themes appear again and again, sometimes as opportunities, sometimes as challenges, and sometimes as unexpected confirmations that you are on the right trail. Gotta love those.
Mm-hmm.
The invitation is not to identify with the archetype, but to enter into relationship with it. The archetype becomes a teacher. Life becomes the classroom. Now for our current lunation, 6 Ahau. As a crew, we now find ourselves navigating the waters of 6 Ahau. Within the lightning path, this lunation occupies an important position within the Temple of Birth. The Temple of Birth is connected with emergence. It is the place where potential begins to take form. It is where something new seeks entry into the visible world. Just reflecting back on our earlier conversation about the octagon and the community notion, seems to me like there's, something that wants to come into form here. This is very timely for the emergence of the manifestation of our dreaming. Within the framework of the lightning path, the current lunation 6 Ahau occupies a particularly important position because it occurs within the Temple of Birth. This places the archetype of Ahau, the Sun Lord, the illumined one, the divine ruler, at a stage of the journey concerned with emergence, incarnation, and the establishment of a new cycle of life. The Maya glyph Ahau traditionally signifies lordship, sovereignty, illumination, leadership, and the solar principle itself. The term literally means Lord or ruler. Now, why 6 Ahau matters? The number 6 is a tone of balance, organization, rhythm, and functional integration. It seeks harmony between opposing forces and the establishment of a stable pattern. Thus, 6 Ahau can be understood as organizing the light, bringing order to purpose, establishing a sustainable expression of sovereignty, learning how to embody one's inner sun rather than merely glimpse it. Where 1 Ahau might represent the first spark of illumination, 6 Ahau asks how that illumination can become practical, balanced, and embodied. Within the Temple of Birth. The Temple of Birth concerns emergence from potential into manifestation. In this context, 6 Ahau suggests birth of authentic identity, emergence of personal authority, recognition of one's creative role in the larger unfolding, learning to radiate rather than dominate, integration of spirit and form. The question posed by this lunation may be the following: What aspect of my deeper nature is ready to be born into visible expression? A lightning path perspective. Within the lightning path, this is not merely an individual process. Humanity itself appears to be moving through a period of profound emergence. The recent passage through the stand at zero threshold, which I initiated a few months back, and Neptune's entry into Aries have emphasized themes of new beginnings, identity, and initiation. Against that backdrop, Six Ahau can be viewed as a collective invitation to stand in one's own light, accept responsibility for one's creative influence, cultivate coherence rather than confusion, become a conscious participant in the unfolding story. Now, there are shadow issues that may come up. Every Ahau cycle carries potential distortions, such as ego inflation, need for recognition, spiritual superiority, attachment to being right, confusing personal will with higher purpose. The medicine is humility. The true sun does not shine for itself. It shines because that is its nature. And just to end with a suggested practice, during this Six Ahau lunation, notice where life is asking you to step forward. Clarify what wants to be born through you. Bring greater order and rhythm to your daily practice. Radiate encouragement rather than judgment. Stand at high noon and consciously align with the solar principle. In a single sentence, Six Ahau is the temple of birth. Six Ahau in the temple of birth is the rhythmic emergence of awakened identity, a time to organize, embody, and express the light that seeks to be born through us.
Nice.
Sorry, I hope it's not getting to be too much here, but we'll carry on. Crossing the threshold through ritual. To mark the new moon does not require elaborate ceremony. What it does require is sincerity and attention. A candle lit in the dark. A journal opened to an empty page. A symbol sketched, a breath held, a quiet question released. That question is, what is beginning within me now? Such gestures create what Rudyard called a seed moment, a vibrational imprint that shapes the entire lunation. The act of marking the moment becomes participation in a deeper rhythm, a way of planting oneself within the field of cosmic intent. Entering the archetypal field, meditation becomes a passageway. Begin with breath. Allow silence to gather. Then call the glyph and tone into awareness, not as intellectual concepts, but as living presences. Ask, what quality seeks emergence through me? Where is challenge inviting growth? What seed of soul longs to germinate in the unseen? A glyph is an archetypal mirror of consciousness, a tone the key in which it expresses itself. Tone 1 is inception. Tone 5 is empowerment. Tone 11 dissolves what must be released. We do not interpret the symbols as much as allow them to resonate in the chambers, excuse me, of feeling and intuition. The lunation journal, and this is something I really encourage people and something I've been doing for the last 50 years, writing as alchemical response. After stillness, the lunation journal becomes a place of integration. Here, writing is not expression, it is revelation. Write not what you think the symbols mean, but what they move in you. Record your impressions, dreams, hesitations, intentions. Ask, what inner theme is unfolding? What challenge am I invited to meet? What support is being offered? In this way, journaling becomes a ritual of coherence, a place where the symbols and the experiential converge. And after a whole lot of words, the last word. Quentin, I'm going to ask you to read this one, please.
Gladly. Oh, by an amazing Sufi. Oh, we're getting a phone call. Just as
The man of the hour.
okay. As our beloved Sufi poet brother Rumi once said, wherever you are and whatever you do, be in love. And as this image so elegantly expresses, that this family is sitting in very unfavorable looking circumstances, and yet they are in love.
Right on.
Around that table. That's a pretty powerful image.
That's for sure.
So thank you, Dwayne, for that presentation. It was definitely not too many words at the end because it gave me a lot of time to reflect on this new cycle we're entering and good guidance moving forward with the 6 Ahau energy.
Right on.
And so, yeah, I felt like just while you were sharing all that, it was just like rearranging my mind with new neural pathways opening up, and the organization with tone 6 is a key theme for sure. And the fact that we're at the end of the like the last glyph with the yellow sun, and in the middle of summer, it's pretty easy to connect with that solar energy these days. It's
That's for sure.
pretty hot here.
Yeah. Right on.
Yeah, I'd love to have a copy of that if I could to review it. That was a lot of information, right?
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
But thank you.
Thank you. My pleasure. I really.
Thank you. Thank you, all of you, very much.
Okay, guys. Well, that's our 2 hours, right?
Wow,
Where?
amazing.
Yeah. Any last words from you folk?
Well, just thank you ever so much. That was really profound, right? And nice to meet everybody.
Yeah, you're welcome anytime.
Well, I'll just have to make a habit of that.
Right on. Look forward to that. Okay.
Check back in at the full moon.
Yeah.
Yes.
See where this planting of the seed, I guess, in what Rudyard called the inner center, I think he said.
Yeah.
Something like that. This is where we're at now. So in 2 weeks' time, we'll be seeing the full illumination of this sun, this Ahau energy. And for me, and Tyhson, I think the organization is a key theme with that tone 6.
Yeah.
Keeping everything in balance.
Oh, this is exciting. Really, I think this has been a really. I think we'll look back on this particular encounter as very significant in what's coming. You know, it's just,
I agree.
yeah, the synchronicities that have come up here, this whole octagon thing. I'm going to be pulling on that thread. I've been imagining a visit over to Big Sky to check out what these guys are doing, and talk to them, the ones that are manifesting that.
And the
I
company
think it's
is,
called Ahau.
the company is called.
They're called Hogan?
No, that's what the name of the structure is. Like a 8-sided
Okay.
kind of, like gazebos are also sometimes octagon, but also a Hogan.
Okay.
It's the one with the walls.
Right on.
And I'll call my friend in a Soyuz and get things moving there, and then connect via messenger.
Okay, that sounds good.
Okay.
Right on.
And Dwayne, I was looking at my calendar when I can do a road trip up to see you, but it's like the open mics are on weekends. And do they stop during the summer?
No, we're committed to every Sunday unless it rains.
Okay. Anyway, it seems like every weekend seems to get filled up.
Oh yeah, I know what
But-
you mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been wonderful here. We had a good crowd yesterday for the jam. I took the big drum and put it to work. So yeah, it's been very full already, and we're just getting started now in the summertime. Eh? Okay, so I love you guys, and
Thank you.
we'll
Love you too.
See you again.
Blessings.
Bye for now.